Hello guys and girls and welcome to the draft analysis of my GBA squad of Season 6. The whole Donphans squad will be explained right here. Why did I draft that? Why did I draft it there? What are my thoughts on these mons? What were you doing on stream? Why these mons? All these questions will be answered right here, and let us hop right in. First of all, like I saw on stream, I tried to franchise Landorus, a great mon I already had last season, and I was telling you guys a lot. I was thinking about franchising it, and that was basically kind of a lie, to be just straight honest, because I knew a long time that I want to franchise this thing. I just want to hear all your thoughts. What do you think? What are your opinions? Maybe I did overlook something. So, but yeah, I want to franchise that a long time. I got convinced basically by Dan while he was thinking about franchising Victini, and we were talking about that. Basically, franchising. I was not a fan of that in season 5 last season. So I did not franchise anything, even though I had like quite a big list I could franchise from. But this time I decided to do it because it's basically, for 40 points, you buy another round 1 pick. Like, you lose with the last pick, of course, but it's a great mon. You will close bring to every match. And spending 40 points for mon you will bring to close to every match is, in my opinion, way more valuable than the last pick you would have otherwise. There are, of course, some hidden gems in the last rounds there, but they're not guaranteed, and I gladly pay the 40 extra points to get a monster called Landorus to my squad. You all know what Landorus does. You already saw it last season with Sheer Force, massive mixed attacker, wall breaker, with a great speed here at 101. It outspeeds, it basically outspeeds every wall and even some of the offensive mons. So nothing like switch in on the character this thing gets. Be it on a special side with Earth Power, Psychic, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, or on the physical side with Earthquake, Outrage, Knockoff, U-Turn, Rock Slide, much moves of that are Sheer Force boosted, but even the ones which are not Sheer Force boosted still hit very hard with 115 and 125 special attack stat. Decent bulk, of course it got that 4 times weakness to ice, which is basically the only reason why it's allowed in the GBA, because otherwise it just would be straight too good. But I think I can play around that. I already did that last season, and having ice switch-ins is not, it's easier, it's pretty easy to land. It's like that, like water resist ice, steel resist ice, and every team has a steel type and a water type. So yeah, this Landorus, I hope Mr. Man, of course, will be called, and I hope it will perform as well as last time. And let's go right into my next pick, which is actually my first round pick, which is Scizor, the Bug Steel type, only weak to fire, of course, my first ice is basically. And I want a Scizor because basically George already proved last season what Scizor can do, be it even, it's already a nice defogger. It has a plethora of resistances, only having 1 weakness in fire. It can even be Donphans if needed, like Scolpy last season, and of course it can destroy teams on its own with that Technician boosted. Bullet Punch priority, the U-Turn. Scizor has one of the hardest hitting U-Turn in the game with stab and a great attack stat. So that's my thoughts going into Scizor. Of course it has 4 times weakness to fire. You have to play around that, but with Hidden Power Fire and Hidden Power Ice, not many mons will be able to have the coverage with Ice and Fire. So they can only run 1 Hidden Power Fire. Of course I will have to scout for these, but that's a thing I can do because what resists both fire and ice, these are water types, and yeah, basically just need a bulky water to be able to scout for these moves. And yeah, already a great switch into the ice attacks, ain't Lando and stuff like that. That's basically Scizor. It's my mascot, not my team mascot, but my channel mascot. So I just had to get it. I couldn't get over it. I love Scizor myself. I love the design. I love them on, and yeah, that's why I have Scizor right here. It's only it has it of course is never a special attacker. It's always a physical attacker. It's decently slow. So decently slow. I like it. It's slow. Let's just say it straight. But with full buff priority, the opponent has to prepare always for a Scizor. Also a steel, like they have to something to hit to take the Bullet Punches. Otherwise, like a SD or a Choice Man variant will just run through them. And yeah, that is Scizor for you. Now I got a nice special attacker, I got a nice physical attacker, both weak to 4 times weak to move, but the next one is actually one which can take them both on, which is Vaporeon, my bulky water for this team. Oh, Scizor is called Giraffe, by the way. You don't have to ask why. Next up, Vaporeon, actually in my first ever season of in the leagues, which was back in the day in GBC. Vaporeon was the captain for my team, so I definitely know how to use it. I definitely appreciate him being back with a huge HP set, nice special attack set, of course immune to water, so it's a great Scald switch in, which I was missing last season. My best version was Tangrowth, which of course doesn't like getting burnt. And yeah, Vaporeon is just straight immune to bulky water, so other bulky waters can barely touch it. The best thing you can do is Toxic, and this thing is, in addition to being a great bulky water, a Cleric as well. Something I missed last season as well. So it has great wishes it can pass to other mons, barring the Chansey Blissey. I think it has the biggest wishes in the game, which can pass to other mons with such a high HP stat. The special attack set, many people forgot that this thing actually has a 110 special attack stat. The move pool is pretty much lacking on the special side, like Scald, Ice Beam, and Signal Beam, I think. And that's basically it. I don't even sure if it gets Signal Beam. But yeah, it basically has no special coverage, if you want to say, okay. But these scores it's gonna dish out are gonna hurt mons which don't resist that. And of course there's the nice burn chance. It thing has Baton Pass, so I already have a nice momentum core with 2 mons which learn U-turn. And this thing given Baton Pass, so grabbing momentum and getting my Landorus in on the walls will be yeah, easier than just hard switch in, which is nothing you usually want to do with your offensive mons. But yeah, with Witch Up, with Baton Pass, with Heal Bell and Scald, this thing is probably my favorite bulky water. I never, like Milotic is on paper of course better, but I never used myself Milotic, so I don't have any experience using Milotic myself. I mean, to be fair, it's a go to just plug and play mod. But Vaporeon is my favorite bulky water I have used so far in League format, so I'm glad I got that one. Not too much to talk about what Vaporeon does. It's a Cleric, immune to water, and it's a bulky water type. It resists both hidden powers, which are aimed at my mons. I can scout for that. This is my go-to switch into most mons, which will oppose my Scizor or Lando just to scout if they have the HP Fire or Ice or whatever. But yeah, this Vaporeon. Next up, I want to start building my cores, and Amoonguss was still on the board. That was my first mon I wanted, but then I saw that this monster is still there, and I decided to draft Shaymin. One of the 100 base fairies. To be fair, it's probably the worst of them all, but the other ones are Celebi, Jirachi, Mew, Big Genie, Manaphy. So it's pretty harsh competition you got right there, but Shaymin is still great. 100 stats overall. This thing can go offensive, it can go defensive on both sides. That's what I like about mons, if they're versatile. It's another Cleric with Aromatherapy. It has a very nice move pool actually, with Air Slash, Psychic, Earth Power, Seed Flare, Giga Drain. Not much like switching into an offensive Shaymin, and the opponent always still have to scout if that's more a defensive variant or a defensive variant. And one perfect thing this thing gets are two things actually, which are Healing Wish to weaken my potential weakened sweepers, and Tailwind, because like you see at my squad with one fastest mod is Landorus, and Rock Polish Landorus is a great threat for every team out there. But in League format it's more difficult to get a Rock Polish up, because you always have to fear the random HPIs on some mons. But when I get a Tailwind up, and then after that Healing Wish into my Lando, I basically got the free Rock Polish for 3 turns and the full health Lando versus the opponent, so you'll always have to fear for that. And Seed Flare, the main move of Shaymin, is such a high power move with 120 base power, a 40% chance. Oh, it's 40? Wait, I have to actually fact check that. I'm sorry, I think it's 40%, bro. This team regains is 80. 40% chance to drop the special attack by 2 stages, so even if you resist grass, after I get a drop with Seed Flare, you're not resisting grass anymore, and this Shaymin will hurt you. It will hurt you. And with Natural Cure, it's actually a nice, another Scald switch, and I have on the team, like, I resist Scald, even if I get burned, I can just without get rid of the burn, and yeah, that's Shaymin for you. Next up, this is probably my weirdest pick for many people that I got this early, but I decided to grab Skuntank. And the main thing I wanted Skuntank was because even though I was still missing a Mega and a Tier 2, many other teams already got their Tier 2 or Mega. So the probability of getting sniped in those areas were pretty low. So I want rather secure the Tier 4 mon I really want. Like my main mon I want in Tier 4, which is Skuntank. Skuntank on paper is a Poison Dark type, so it's only weak to ground. And it has a removal with Defog, nice coverage moves on both sides with fire moves, Fire Blast and stuff like that, Dark Pulse, Slush Bomb, Acid Spray. With Aftermath, Taunt, Sucker Punch priority, blah blah, these are all good things for Skuntank, but the main thing why I want the Skuntank and why it was the thing out of Tier 4 I want the most is because it's a premier Pursuit Trapper. In my opinion, it's probably the best Pursuit Trapper in the game, not because it's so powerful, but because it of course gets pursued, that's the thing, but it can switch into close to every psychic type out there. Usually all the coverage moves psychic type get to hit dark types, which like to switch in and pursue them, like Mega Absol last season, as Signal Beam and Focus Blast. Because of this typing, Skuntank is hit neutrally by them both, and because of natural bulk with 103 HP and 61-67, with an Assault Vest or just special defense, it can take these hits like nothing, switch in, and the Pursuit Trap is already on. Like, not many psychic types get Earth Power, like I think Celebi does, and I can't even think off the top of my head which other get Earth Power, so they would have to rely on Hidden Power Ground, which is not very powerful. I can still take 1 or 2 or even 3 depending on the special attacker I'm facing right now, so Skuntank is a premier Pursuit Trapper. My opponent will always steer that his mons will get Pursuit Trapped, so they have most of the times they will run a Cobra Berry, and if I force them to run a Cobra Berry, that's already a nice thing for this. Of course, it has a nice speed for a potentially defensive. No. What I'm saying, it's not really defensive. It's a bulky attacker. Let's say that it's a bulky attacker, 93 attack. It's a decent attack set for a mon in this tier. I wanted, but the typing is just the main quality I was looking for at Skuntank. In addition to having another hazard mover, because so far it only Scizor, and you don't want to have Scizor every time as a hazard mover. It has way better options it can go for. But yeah, this is Skuntank for you. It's a dark type which is not stopped by fairies as well, because they're poison moves which I don't like taking. Like even though 93 is like not that impressive attack set, if it's stab super effective, it still hurts a lot. That's why I want to Skuntank, and that's why I grabbed it so early. So next up, I want to get a fairy because my main fairy I want to get was Togekiss, but that was sniped very early by Envy, so I had to rearrange my plans a bit. So I decided next up I want my fairy. And Aromatisse was still on the board, and actually got that. Let's just go straight to that. I actually got that. I was fearing of it getting sniped because, to be fair, I was just watching a video of Tub the day before, and in which he said that Aromatisse is one of his favorite fairies in the game. It's very underrated in his opinion, so I was the fear was high that he actually would snipe that from me. But he didn't. He got another one. I don't remember what he got, but I was just so happy Aromatisse was getting to me. It was the best fairy still on board, in my opinion, because there's still, of course, stuff like Granbullston, but I want a nice defensive fairy. It's a cheaper Clefable, Sylveon, stuff like that. It does the same. It's a Cleric, it's defensive, it can run Moonblast. And what this thing has too, which my team is a very nice, support for my team, is potentially Trick Room. Don't many people know that, but Aromatisse actually gets Trick Room, and like you see in my team, it didn't got faster after I got Landorus, so if I can get a Trick Room up with Landorus, Shaymin, and Scizor around, they will hurt like a truck. I can put all the EVs in bulk, and if I run Trick Room, it will be happy times for me. It's another Cleric on the team, so I already have 3 Clerics. I don't have to worry about anything standing me with Aromatisse around. And yeah, it's the fairy. 99 special attack, actually decent. Many people don't see that as a high attack set, even though it's only 1 point short of the 3 digits. But yeah, nice HP set with 101, of course. Decent physical attack set even, in case I want to run a physical Aromatisse with some nice coverage moves that gets there. I don't want to go into detail on that, because they may come into play at some point, and I don't want to make the people aware of that. But yeah, nice bulk. It's a nice defensive fairy. It's not as high tier, of course, as the other more defensive fairies like Togekiss, Celebi, and Clefable, but it's a budget variant of those, and that's why I want Aromatisse. Of course, it costs less, so it's definitely worth it. In my opinion, it's underrated to being back down in tier 4. I wouldn't be surprised if it's tier 3 or something like that, so I'm happy I could grab it. And next up, talking about budget version of higher tier mons, I actually got Mesprit. Mesprit for me is, it's if you know me for longer, it's my favorite mon, my all-time favorite mon of League Fortnite, basically. It was part of my first season ever squad with Vaporeon and Landorus, and Mesprit is the budget Mew. It's not as good as Mew, of course, but it has similar stats with 80 in HP, 80 in speed def, and 105 in every other stat, so it's actually a bit more offensive, a bit less bulky, not much, because of course it's 105 and not 100. Pure Psychic type, Levitate, ground immunity. And one big thing for example, it's Stealth Rocker, because if you look at my squad before Mesprit, the only Stealth Rocker I had was Landorus, and I don't want to run Stealth Rocker on Landorus every time. Landorus usually wants to run full offense, just because of the coverage it gets, and the potential to just tear down the walls of a team with the right coverage moves. That's why I wanted a Stealth Rocker, and Mesprit was still on board, and I couldn't resist not getting Mesprit. It's so great. It gets nice coverage on the physical side, on the special side, be it Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, be it Thunderbolt, be it U-turn. Actually, it gets Healing Wish, which Mew doesn't have, so I already have 2 Healing Wish users. So in case one of my more offensive mons or wall I really need gets weak, I still have the potential to Healing Wish them back up to full health. Of course, it gets Stealth Rock, it gets Knock Off, and Signal Beam. I could go along like this forever, like, just go on Showdown, click Mesprit, and you see, like, you have to scroll a lot if you go for Mesprit's moveset. That's why it's one of my favorite mons. Of course, I can Spectrum Yellow Magic with that. What probably will happen at some point. But yeah, this it's another Earthquake immunity, which I only had Landorus so far, so it just offered so much for the team. I couldn't resist on getting it. In addition to that, it's one of my favorite mons. And I totally forgot going over nicknames. So going back to Shaymin, it's called Sanic. Skuntank will be called Drumpf. Then we got the Romatis, which is none other than Thunderpants, and Mesprit will be Pretty, because that's the nickname I had in Season 1 too. So this Mesprit for you, it offers so much. I don't want to talk too much over it because I don't want to make this video too long, but it's one of my favorite mons, and if you don't love Pretty, you basically don't love me, so yeah, better love Pretty. Next up, we got another returning member of my last season squad, which is actually Druddigon, the tier 4 dragon. Mainly because one Stealth Rock only Mesprit is not enough. It's way too versatile to be forced to be rocks every time. So I got another Rocker and Druddigon, and I still need the dragon for my full on Fairy, Dragon, Steel Core. Now I got them together with Aromatisse and Scizor. Druddigon, you know for last season what he does. What he mainly did for me was Ruskin Rocky Helmet, getting chip damage on the other ones with that, getting rocks up, Dragon Tail the other ones around. This season I want to be a bit more creative with that thing, because this thing has way more to offer than just being Ruskin Rocky Helmet. I felt sorry for Druddigon that I could only show off this set mainly. I think I brought Sheer Force once, but it doesn't really did much, because the Thunderous died first turn versus Tub and blah blah blah. So yeah, Sheer Force, Mold Breaker 3 and Ruskin are the 3 big and great abilities in the format. I'm looking forward to using Druddigon again. It's actually this time not Poop Dragon, it's his little brother, it's Spiky Mikey, which will get a chance to to shine on the GBA this time. But yeah, it's a pure Dragon type, which I love on my Dragon types. It's the pure Dragon type, like Goodra, like Hexorus, like Hydreigon. I just mean with pure Dragon type not being 4 times weak to Ice. So yeah, nice bolt, great attacks at 120 if I run Sheer Force on this thing, and I have 2 Trick Room users now. I forgot that about Mesprit. Mesprit is Trick Room too, so a Trick Room team may actually be viable at some point with this slow speed and Sheer Force with this attack set. With this coverage this thing gets, be it Fire Punch, be it Thunder Punch, be it Rock Slide, be it Sucker Punch, be it Crunch, be it Rock Slide, be it Glare. It even gets Glare so I can paralyze all the ones if I want to. Dragon Tail, of course, to shuffle ones around. Druddigon, Spiky Mikey, you did great. I think you were my hidden MVP last season because you didn't got many kills, but you got up so much chip damage with Ruskin Rocky Helmet on other mons, which brought them in range of basically my more offensive mons with Mega Absol and Landorus mainly last time. So it was the hidden MVP of last season. Spiky Mikey will probably do the same this time, if not even more, because I can hopefully show off a bit more than just Ruskin Rocky Helmet. But yeah, now through my last 3 picks, I was forced to get a tier 2, to get a tier 5, and to get a Mega. I left I had no possibilities anymore on getting a Fremon, so I had to get these 3, and out of these 3 I thought, okay, let's get the 1 tier 2 which is still left and I want, which is none other than Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt is such a threat on the offensive side. I had to prepare for it once, and if you do Calcs versus Crawdaunt, you go down in tears. There's so little on your team which can actually take 2 hits from this, and even if it's not set up, and just imagine this thing setting up in your face, it's so scary already in team prep. I don't have to bring it every time because I have a very good wall breaker in Landorus already, but this thing, just having Crawdaunt on the team is such a big threat. Adaptability knocked off, adaptability Crab Hammer, which is base 200. That's close to an explosion with 250. Nothing likes taking these hits. And then it got, of course, Acrojet Priority, Superpower as coverage moves, and some other coverage moves, but let's be honest here, you will probably most of the time you will run Crab Hammer, Acrojet, Knockoff. These are the 3 moves you need, because even if something is super effectively, with adaptability, it still hits harder. So why run coverage moves if you can have these 3? So, and it can set up on both sides, be it on Sword Stance if you want to more Acrojet things and the opponent is pretty slow, or you want to Dragon Dance on speed, even the faster ones of your opponent, and just straight sweep in. Of course, it's pretty slow. It's not. It's decently bulky. Like many people underestimate the bulk Crawdaunt has to offer. It can take surprisingly some hard hits, but of course not too many. Like most of the stuff is a 2-hit KO. But if I get one turn to set up an SD in someone's face and then kill the Aquajet and sweep this team, that's all I need with Crawdaunt. It's great, water dark typing. It's another dark type, so all the bulky psychic types, which are like the main stops to Landorus, like we saw last time with Uxie, with Cresselia, with Mesprit, with Reunitas. All this stuff, put the Cold Berry on them, and it's this is the only thing I can hit them with is knockoff, which is first weakened by Cold Berry, and then weakened because they have no berry. Stuff like that. So if I want to make Landorus shine, I have to get rid of those. For that, I have already Scizor, I have Skuntank, and now I got Crawdaunt as well. So I got some nice team synergy going on, at least in my opinion. And yeah, I love Crawdaunt. With Scizor, I have now the Red Pincer squad ready to tear down the teams. And yeah, that's Crawdaunt. That's why I drafted there a lot. To be honest, there was not much stuff still in tier 2 around because I drafted this so late. But Crawdaunt was still on board, and I was so happy to see it. It's one of my favorite mons of Gen 3 and in general. So yeah. That's Crawdaunt for you. It's a huge threat. Like that's everything that matters with Crawdaunt, basically. And next up, going into my tier 5 pick. If you look at my squad, I am very slow. Like my fastest mon is Landorus with 101. Of course, I have 2 Trick Room setters, which Crawdaunt can shine a Trick Room too. People always have to worry about Trick Room versus me. I'm saying that a lot right now because I want to play some mind games with people, thinking, do I bring Trick Room, don't bring Trick Room, and stuff like that. But yeah, my team is very slow. I need to get some more speed. I still need to get Electric type, and Electabuzz was still there. I think the first one to draft it in the GBA format. Maybe in some earlier seasons someone did. I didn't follow every coach back then. But yeah, I actually drafted Electabuzz over Electivire, which is still on the board because of its 105 speed. Electivire actually is slower, and that hurts it a lot. Like being under or over 100 speed does mean a lot in the format. That's why Mega Garchomp is so much worse than Garchomp, because it just gets slower and goes under the 100 speed line. Still has a decent special attack with 95. That's basically the same. That's more special attack than Luxray has. I think Luxray has 90. Let me fact check that real quick. I think Luxray is 90. Let's be honest here. I think it's 90. And you already see how good Luxray did with his Volt Switch and other special attacks. If I invest in that, of course it's a lower tier monster. So I won't bring it to every match. But let's see, Luxray is 95. Look, it's actually the same base special attack set. Never mind then. Never mind me. It's the same. So it hits hard enough, and with a nice physical attack set of 83, which is surprisingly decent for a tier 5 mon, and a nice move pull on both sides. This thing gets, it don't even have to run hidden power on this thing. It gets Ice Punch, it gets Fire Punch, it gets Cross Chop, all this nice stuff. Electabuzz gets, so if I have something I want to hit 4 times so effectively, I can do that with Electabuzz. With the Violet, it's surprisingly bulky. It can take some, many people get surprised how well it can take some special hits with 85 special attack with the Violet. Physical hits, of course, not that much. I mean, it's a tier 5 one. I don't need to praise this one too much. It will have some key matchups where I want to bring it, and that's where Electabuzz will shine. Maybe I can get some static on some people which want to touch my Electabuzz. And yeah, that's basically my Electabuzz right here. Crawdaunt is by the way called Crawdaddy, and Electabuzz will be called Ellie because she was the main. She got me the idea, basically mainly, of getting Electabuzz. She used that in the PPL, and I asked her how Electabuzz can I use it too, blah blah blah. And yeah, she convinced me of getting Electabuzz and not like one of the other electric types which are still available at this time on the squad. There's Electabuzz right here. I'm looking forward to using Electabuzz. It's always fun to bring some underrated monster and have some key matchups where it can shine. But yeah, last pick actually of the draft was my Mega pick. I had to get the Mega because you have to have a Mega. And like I said, my team is still slow, with Electabuzz being my fastest mon at 105, a mon which I won't bring every time, but I probably won't bring every time. So I have to get some speed, and why not get the one of the fastest mons. I was actually correct on stream. I said it was one of the fastest mons in the format with Mega Electabuzz. Of course, there's Ninjas, but let me correct that, the best viable fast mon. All you Ninjas fans out there, I'm sorry, I don't think Ninjas is viable in League format just because it's a Ninjas, let's be honest here. But yeah, we have M-ALAKAZAM with a rocking 150 speed and 175 special attack set. This thing hits like a truck, it's speedy as hell, your opponent will have to run a Scarfer to deal with that thing. Of course, Sucker Punch is the main priority, which will hit MegaLAKAZAM super effectively, and is the most times even an OHKO with like only 55 HP and 65 defense. But you already saw how Dan used Substitute Jolteon versus my Mega Absol, so Substitute MegaLAKAZAM, every Sucker Punch user versus me will have to fear that, and if I can hit them up with some, be it a stab move with Psychic on with 175 special attack set, that will hurt a lot. Because of its speed, most of the times it will be able to run even modest versus my opponents. It gets nice coverage moves, be it Thunderbolt, be it Energy Ball. I can hit on both sides with Psyshock and Psychic. Potential setup variants of Core Mind, probably not often though, because it's a glass cannon. Let's be honest here, it's a glass cannon, but it's the best, probably the best glass cannon in the game. You have to be careful with monsters like that, but I think I already showed with Mega Absol that having a glass cannon is not as it's not as bad as you think. I can play around with that and make this mon shine. It has great pre-mega ability in Magikarp, so I'm not affected by any hazards or some of that. And I can, with this ability Trace, I can definitely use some Trace shenanigans, because Trace is a very fun ability in League format. There are some key abilities you can use versus the opponent in some occasions, and for example, if I get a Speed Boost on this thing, or I get Magnet Ball on this versus another Steel Ball, like versus the Magneton or Magnezone, I can trap them with my Trace Steel Pull, and I can kill them with Nimbar Ground or Focus Blast or anything like that. Yeah, MegaLAKAZAM, I am looking forward to using that. I only had to face it once in League format, and it terrified me because I had no mon which is faster. I had to run a Scarfer basically, and having to run a Scarfer is nothing you want to hear in League format, because usually you don't want to run a Scarfer, because being choice in League format is always a pain. Because yeah, you don't unless you're a surprise Scarfer. I'm not too much a fan of being choice in League format. I'd rather be able to surprisingly switch up moves and hit some mons on the side they didn't expect to. But MegaLAKAZAM, it's awesome. When in doubt, I can just spread a speedy T-Wave before it goes down. And yeah, MegaLAKAZAM, I'm very looking forward to you. He will be Mustachio in honor of our coach Hayden, which actually left the league. So yeah, I was looking forward to using Mustachio here. Mega Mustachio actually, but I would just call it Mustachio. No need to add the Mega in front of that. We already had that with Emo. But yeah, this is the full squad I have for this GBA seasons. If you have any questions regarding the upcoming season, of course barring specific sets, I will bring those specific coaches. I can't review that. But if you got any questions, your opinions on the squad, like even if you only want to shit talk my squad and say this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, blah blah, I still appreciate your comment on that, because maybe you found something out I did not actually notice myself, and I can catch up with a trade or free agency and stuff like that. So even if you just want to shit talk my draft, go ahead. I don't mind too much. Of course, stay polite. Who am I saying? If you're starting shit talk, I can't stop you basically. But yeah, that's, if you, like I said, if you have anything regarding that, leave it in the comments. I always appreciate comments. But yeah, this is basically all for this video. You will see me, my next GBA content video will be the Team Analysis video. This is the first coach we will face this season, which is none other than Cooper, one of the new coach which returned to the GBA, and Cooper is a crafty dude. I'm not looking forward to battling him first, because I don't want to be the first which getting head smashed by Aggron. This is nothing I want to take. Head smash is nothing like, and yeah, he is up for shenanigans. Cooper is one guy who's up for shenanigans, and I'm not confident facing guys which are up for shenanigans, because planning with shenanigans, I mean, you can't play for everything. So yeah, Cooper will be my first opponent. Of course, I will still try to take him down, but it's a scary matchup versus Cooper. Not only because of the squad, but just because it's Cooper. And I think in interviews, it's actually the coach most people didn't want to face, so and I had to face him first week. But yeah, getting a win versus Cooper will of course be nice, and that's the plan I will aim for. That's all for this video. If you liked what I saw, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit me on Twitter, Facebook, all the links in the description. Same goes for the GBA links. And yeah, like I said, any questions, leave in the comments. Blah blah. That's enough for me. I will see you another time. Ciao.